WGPR Detroit HD2.
You're watching WHPS, Highland Park, Detroit.
WGPR Detroit HD2.
You're watching WHPS, Highland Park, Detroit.
FM 88.1 WHPR, Highland Park.
WVIE 107.3 FM Charlotte, Amalia, Virgin Islands.
The views and opinions expressed on the following show are not necessarily the views and opinions of WHPS, its affiliates, management, or sponsors.
There's a new financial empowerment center located in the Wayne County Treasurer's Office on the 5th floor of 400 Monroe in Detroit.
If you or someone you know needs help with their finances, budgeting, and making monthly payments, the Detroit Financial Empowerment Center can help.
Wayne Metro Community Action Agency has counselors ready to provide free one-on-one counseling to help you address issues related to utility bills, taxes, and other financial matters. We can also help you improve your credit score.
Good morning. All righty. Let me first of all say excuse us for being a couple of seconds behind. We're just getting here. A difficult start this morning. Not difficult. A little bit of a challenge because temperature this morning was 43 degrees. So some of us that are not quite ready for this drop in temperature, we want to say good morning. And if you go out today, you need your jacket and your scarf, or at least your jacket, because a little bit different in terms of the weather. If you're looking for the weekly broadcast of the Ask Welfare Rights program, you have been successful again. My name is Maureen Taylor, and I work for Welfare Rights, and I'm here with my colleague who is the national chair of the National Welfare Rights Union, and she's showing her shirt on TV. So Marion is here. Marion, please tell us good morning.
Good morning, and this is one of our shirts, the national shirts. I think we showed it before, but I want you to dial in as usual and make sure you have a pencil when you dial in, and call your friends and next door and say, I know you probably behind on some of those utilities and stuff. Call in and get the information as to where to go. Okay, we don't have there it is. Y'all so sweet. We have now at the bottom of the TV, you see that you can call in on 313-868-3636. And then 313. I know it. At the bottom of your TV, you should be able to dial in on 313-868-4336, 313-868-0. Yes, it's changed.
80351. Yeah. No, it's not. It's the same. Go ahead.
Okay, you sure? Because you know you
I
need.
know those numbers by heart. 868-0351.
Go on.
And the last one.
313-868-0342. Dial in on either one of those numbers and participate in today's. Hey, it's a lot going on, Maureen.
You gonna say something about the website?
If you let me get to it.
Okay.
If you let me get to it.
Okay.
The other thing is, those of you that have the opportunity to be on the website is www.tv33whpr.com. Let's go.
All right, we have an early caller. Let's see who this is. Caller, you are on the air, and thank you for calling Ask Welfare Rights. You're on the air. Caller, you're on the air. All right, let's move on. All right, Marion, there are a couple of things going on. First, I don't know if you knew or not, or if you've heard or not, the city of Detroit is operating a program now that'll help people with roof repairs. Okay,
Are you sure?
and yeah, and
'Cause I got a call. No.
this is from Detroit now.
Yeah, I know it.
All right, so this is an attempt to curry favor, to get favor, and to yeah, but people need home repairs. So if you live in Detroit and you need a replacement or a repair of a roof, here's the number, and it's called Renew Detroit. Renew Detroit, and the number is area code 313. That's the area code, and the number is 244-0274. 313 is the area code, and the number you want is 244-0274.
Well, when did that start, Maureen?
About 8 or 9 days ago. It just started.
And we just hearing about it now.
Well, no, I heard about it about 8 or 9 days ago, but I had to check it out first to make certain it was accurate.
Okay.
And Mr. Thomas is the one that called and shared that number. Mr. Thomas that was at our retirement event the other day for our colleagues that are retiring.
Mr. Thomas did that.
You know who that is? Dwight that was sitting across from you. Dwight Thomas that was sitting over there next to Sharon.
I know it. I know it.
All right, that's what we talking about.
And
all right.
with that good stuff I tasted last
All
time.
right, that honey, yeah.
Yeah.
So he was there, and he's the one that gave us that number. Area code 313-244-0274. So we'll try this number again. Caller, thank you for calling Ask Welfare Rights. Caller, you are on the air.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now, yes.
My sheroes, Marion Kramer and Maureen Taylor.
Hey now.
How are you?
Wonderful this morning, and hope you are as well.
I'm having
The
a
good
rough
Lord
time
woke
with
me
the
up.
I'm having a rough time with this with these allergies.
Oh, yes, I overstand allergies.
Understand? All righty.
Yeah.
Listen, I need some more of y'all flyers.
Oh shoot. We
We're
got
out there.
did you see the Welfare Rights newsletter?
No.
Okay, we'll try to get flyers and newsletters to you. If we don't get them down here at the station, we'll get them over there to where Daryl Jordan is. But we'll get them to you in the next 24 hours.
Okay, excellent.
Okay? And we saw you out there trying to lend any kind of support possible for the young man and the young woman that was slaughtered, shot multiple times in their car. I tell you, Reverend, these are days of mass shootings, but they don't call it a mass shooting if 2 or 3 die every day. They don't call it that.
Yes.
But these are mass shootings that's going on here, and it's just so sad. I'm sure there's a backstory to this, but saw you out there trying to advocate for them, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Well, we're going to keep the fight up, and we like it when we're out there, highway, byway, alleyway. We like to have Michigan Welfare Rights organization information because the poverty is worse than the numbers show, and we're running into people, and y'all provide a vital service.
Thank you.
So get me the literature.
Will do.
So when we're out there, you're out there. I mean, you're out there anyway, but you know what I'm saying.
I do.
Thank you.
All righty. The next 24 hours, we'll find you and we'll get that to you, okay?
Thank you. Y'all be blessed.
Thank you.
And thank you so very much, sir. Have a peaceful and a safe day.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right. Caller, thank you for calling Ask Welfare Rights. You are on the air. Caller, are you there? I did. Caller, are you there? All right, they may have gone to the ladies' room right quick, so we'll let that happen. All right, Mary, then there's another issue, and I'm glad you brought this. there's a petition going around in Highland Park.
Oh, yeah.
And what it says at the top of this petition, I'm glad you brought it so we could read it exactly as written. And it says, petition to demand that the Great Lakes Water Authority pay the city of Detroit, the city of Highland Park, $1 million.
That's right.
And what it says is that we demand Great Lakes Water Authority honor a contract and mediation ruling. Great Lakes Water Authority must pay the $1 million owed to the city of Highland Park. The Highland Park Human Rights Coalition, including residents of Highland Park, make the following claims. Highland Park ratepayers are being overcharged. Residents of Highland Park pay 10 times more for water than any other city in Michigan. This disproportionate billing is a violation of an existing 1983 and 1996 agreement. In 1983, a contract was established concerning water rates for Highland Park, which the Great Lakes Water Authority is not honoring. The contract the Great Lakes Water Authority is ignoring was a federal order.
Yes, indeed.
The mediation ruling was in Highland Park's favor. We, the undersigned, demand that the Great Lakes Water Authority stop ignoring the contracts and stop violating court rulings.
Now, this petition at this particular time is for Highland Park.
Just a moment, Carl.
We'll be back out again today for you to sign this. But as far as I'm concerned, it's for more than even Highland Park, you know, given the crisis in Detroit also. Because, you know, we're not, as for Maureen, we started fighting this battle back in
2004 is when I remember.
Not well. You remember that was more than 2004. But it is terrible that these people now, when they want their money, we better be on time. Now the judge had ruled that they owe Highland Park this money.
Yes,
and they have not fulfill their duties. So it's, look, Highland Parkers, I know that you're suffering around all DTE or suffering around this water mess out here. Every time you look around, you're almost losing your house. You know, you ain't got enough people working in our favor. So therefore, we need you, when you see Pat and I today, and probably tomorrow might be some more out, we need you to sign these petitions where we can send this to the Great Lakes Water Authority, and let them know that this is our water. And here you are robbing the poor again, consistently. So come on, call us and make sure you get your name on this, unless, you don't have no problem. But if you do, you still need to. If you don't, you still need to help the rest of the Highland Parkers.
That's right. Caller, you've been very patient. Caller, you are on the air, and thank you for calling Ask Welfare Rights. Caller, you're on the air.
Hello?
And yes, good morning.
Grand Rising, ladies.
And Grand Rising, Miss Linda. Thank you very much.
Linda.
We need that Highland Park report. Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. I've got two reports. The first one is the booster shot. Vaccinations are still being available at the Ernest T. Ford Fieldhouse, 10 Plinkett, and that's Monday and Wednesday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m., Friday, 9 p.m. to 3 p.m., and Saturday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. That's the booster vaccination. All vaccinations, your Pfizer, your Johnson & Johnson, and Moderna are available.
All three shots. Go ahead.
Second shots, too.
Okay, all three shots are available at the rec center.
Yes.
And did you say that folks that are getting vaccinated for the first time, they can also avail themselves of this service?
Yes, first and second shots are available, along with the booster.
What about what you heard last night?
I'm going to say something about it. Mm-hmm. All right, now go ahead, Miss Linda.
there's something that you wanted to comment on the.
Well, yeah, I heard it on the news. Marion is reminding me of this. The Centers for Disease Control, World Health Organization, were in consultation yesterday to determine with the Moderna shot, and we only talked about the Moderna shot. They said that people should probably wait 1 or 2 more days while they look at the data and the information that was provided. And what the issue is the Moderna shot is so effective, They're now trying to determine if a half a shot or a full shot is necessary. It might be that the Moderna shot is so successful that a half a shot will do. You don't have to have the whole shot. And it will keep people protected for a very, very long time. So when I called Marion yesterday, after I heard that, because she was getting dressed and on her way to get her shot, the discussion was maybe we better wait till Monday or Tuesday, because by then the data will have been investigated and revealed. That's what Marion is talking about.
Because Highland Park's been doing pretty good, as Linda has been giving these reports, pretty good on people showing up to participate in these programs, and I'm glad that is happening.
Okay, now, Miss Linda, you had something else in the Highland Park report you were going to give us.
Well, it's that time of the year, everybody. Trunk and Treat. Halloween.
Oh, you're right.
October the 31st at the Ernest T. Ford Fieldhouse, 10 Pinkin, 5:30 to 7 p.m. Trunk and Treat. You know what that means. You drive by and you get your goodies for the children in your car, and you just keep on moving.
Okay, now, where is that happening again?
The same place, the Ernest T. Ford
Rec Center.
Rec Center.
Oh, at the rec center.
Okay, and Miss Linda, some of that early part of what you just said about this, we're talking about trick and treating.
Trunk and Treat.
All right. Now, what is that first word that you're saying?
Trunk. Like a trunk of your car.
Tree trunk. Okay.
Car trunk.
Okay, car trunk. And what is the trunk program for? What is it doing?
What you drive? It's a drive-by goodies. Oh.
Okay. Okay. And if you open the trunk of your car, somebody will place the goodie bag in your trunk. Am I understanding that correctly?
That's the message.
All righty. Now I got it. Okay.
That's a good program.
All righty. Thank you, Ms. Linda, for the Highland Park report. And that sounds like an excellent idea to me. That's what we need, more treats.
Just repeat the time that this is going to start out, Linda, as well as the trunk program. Yes, and make people understand that. Look, people ain't gonna be going there all night long waiting on you to get out here. People to get out here. People be there waiting on them to come and get all this candy and all this stuff people have put together. What is it? How many hours? So could you say that once more as you, unless you have something else to talk about?
Yes, and I hope you recover your allergies, Mary. And I have some cayenne pepper over here, sniffing and sneeze.
I can't hear.
Okay, so what are the hours for the trunk program?
The hours again are 5:30 in the afternoon to 7 p.m.
So 5:30 to 7 p.m. What days?
That's October the 31st. What day is Halloween?
October 31st.
I'm not sure.
Okay, so Halloween, October 31st at from 5:30 to 7. That's 90 minutes.
That will be on a Sunday, the 31st.
Okay.
Sunday.
At the rec center. Thank you very much, Miss Linda. We heard it, and this broadcast is going to be repeated a couple more times, so folks will get this information.
And if you want to donate,
Can you hear me?
should you want to donate something as far as candy and stuff like that, just take it up to the center?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Miss Linda, and we look forward to your next week's Highland Park report.
Will Roger, over and out.
And thank you very much. All right, have a wonderful and safe day.
You too.
All right. All right, 868-0342, 868-0351, 868-4336. Okay, now, Marion, we were talking about this petition, and this is going to be important, that people, when you see folks circulating the petition, you need to be out there and signing, because this is about a court ruling in Highland Park's favor, where after information, investigation, and all kinds of evidence was presented, the federal court decided that the Highland Park folks were shortchanged, and that
And it's a lot of little shortchange.
the Great Lakes Water Authority did in fact owe residents of Highland Park $1 million. So folks should go and make certain that your name is on this petition, so when it gets circulated and when it gets finished, your name will be part of this to make certain that your city receives this money that the judge already said you were shortchanged out of, and that you deserve it back.
That's right.
All right. I was talking with Marion in the car on the way here today, and this is based on a conversation I had earlier with my son. And we were talking about this thing called critical race theory. Now, critical race theory is about expose. It's about colleges really pointing out and focusing in history classes, in civics classes, especially African American history, world history, in colleges mostly, that the history of the United States of America is not squeaky clean. And that there have been real instances of bad behavior, ugly behavior toward Native Americans, and killed off most of them and stole whatever land that these corporations, wasn't corporations at the time, but these rich capitalists, they stole things helped by the military.
Just
and
thieves.
outright thievery. And bad behavior toward African Americans, bad behavior toward Native Americans for sure, toward Hispanics, toward women, toward a variety of people, always selecting some group to point discrimination against. And so this theory is being taught on the basis of, this is some of the history on which the United States of America stands. And now we have this backlash where people are saying we don't want that taught in our colleges, and some high schools are trying to talk about it. We don't want that taught in classes. And why? Because it makes white children feel bad. Well, wait a minute. I thought that such an approach to reveal all of the history, but also when these bad things were going on, to focus on the fact there were many people, black, white, Hispanic, Native American, that stood up and said, wait a minute, this is not supposed to be happening in the United States of America.
Look at
we're gonna fight this.
Look at the civil rights workers. I know my first time going into the civil rights movement years ago, who did they kill? They killed 3 young men, two whites, 1 black. As
Sandy Werner and
what was
the
the other one? I forgot. Killed them for trying to, get people the right to vote. And you gonna tell me you don't want me to talk about the history of the United States? Look, we need to talk. We don't talk enough. you know, and your children getting a good education if they're able to sit and listen to what happened to a lot of our people out here.
Well, this should be viewed, that's the way I viewed it, as a victory. Because people stood up and said, we're not going to take this.
Not no more.
It's wrong. We're going to fight against this discrimination based on color. We're going to fight against this discrimination based on race. This discrimination based on whatever it's based on. And that should be, that's a victory.
Yes.
You know, let's stop all this. And those people that did that fighting, some of them, many of them lost their lives. The 3 young men that Mary's talking about, Sherner, Cheney, and it'll come back to me.
Yeah.
And in Philadelphia, Mississippi, I'll never forget that. And all of the others, Viola Liuzzo, that came from Michigan and got shot because she was also working to try to help people get the right to vote. So this backlash, you know, a lot of this is about Trump. That's
all it is,
about
Maureen.
Trump. But I think people were feeling that way before Trump.
Oh, yes,
you know,
yes.
So, this should be seen as a victory. Now, let me say why I'm raising this. And again, I was talking to Marion about this. Now, Dave Chappelle, the comedian, got this whole backlash going because of some comments and some jokes that he made. He's a comedian. He's a international comedian. And they make jokes about blacks.
Everything.
They make jokes about women. They make jokes about Native Americans.
About their wives.
About their wives and their children. And gay people got their feelings hurt because of something that he said. And I listened to a lot of this. I don't know what the specific comments were, but we're not talking about anything that I heard that Dave Chappelle is bashing people about. Didn't say anything like that, but was making jokes. I heard D.L. Hughley the other day talking about gay people being upset about anything that they perceive to be against them. And they were making jokes about, well, as powerful as the gay lobby is, they have their own television programs. You know, Will and Grace. Will and Grace is hilarious. God knows it's hilarious. But the reason I'm bringing this up is, again, the history, the critical race stuff, Dave Chappelle, people want his programs taken off of Netflix and all of those kinds of things. And Navarre asked this question. When the joke or the funny part is about you didn't say anything when the jokes was about me. Mm-hmm. And when the jokes were about HT, or if the jokes were about Mr. Watkins, or if the jokes were about Sylvia, you didn't have anything to say. Mm-hmm. But now, okay, this is a certain segment of the population being looked at and laughed at, okay, and now it becomes an issue. And then there's one more point, Mary, and I want you to comment. Mm-hmm. I'm going to stretch this right over to this football coach, Gruden, who apparently 10 years ago, he was not working for ESPN, the sports channel. He was not a coach at that time. And 10, 11 years ago, somebody ended up with copies of emails that he'd been sending around. And in these emails, he was talking about the first gay football player that was inducted into a professional team, and how, I'm going to clean up the language, how gays shouldn't be in football. What? And then women that were out on the professional football team, not team, but commentators about who was injured and who was, behind and all this kind of stuff. And his comment there, multiple comments, were women should not be advertising or broadcasting during football games unless it's in between menstrual cycles.
Who said that?
Gruden, the coach. All right, and women shouldn't be there, and blacks, and something about one of his friends that the comment was he looks like the Michelin man, the Michelin tire man, and he's got bubble lips, big lips. So this guy has been writing this stuff, and at first he said, well, I might have written some emails a long time ago, making fun of this group, that group, that group, but that's not the way I feel today. And then they
Now,
looked,
because I'm making the big
well, they looked some more. And at first he was talking about 2 or 3 emails. And then they looked some more. Here come 50 to 60 emails. And he's attacking everything and everybody in the grossest kind of language, Mary. Gross kind of language. And then he was still holding on. Well, at the time, you can't get mad at me because I've changed my views. And at that time, I might have said some things that I really don't believe, but I was just kind of going along with the crowd. And here comes some more emails, Marion. And now we're into the hundreds of emails. So then the onslaught of saying you have to own up to this, and you whatever it is, you didn't get out in front of it.
Education yourself.
So the pressure was so enormous. He ended up, it was $100 million a year was his contract. And after he saw there was no way out because they were closing the exits on his no good, trifling, racist, misogynistic, hate crime.
You got any more?
They had all of this information, and so what he said was, well, I'm just going to resign. And I guess he gets to keep whatever money was coming forward. They trying to negotiate. Does he keep whatever those millions of dollars he was promised, and what that looks like? But, the point being this. Here comes the critical race theory concept. If you want to hide that there were 3 civil rights workers killed on that one event, I know for years I used to hear about the soil in Georgia. The reason that it was brownish red is because of the many blacks that were killed. And the point being, all these folks that died that were trying to help people get the right to vote. And then here comes Gruden making jokes that makes it worse. He was doing typical white man stereotypes. That's what he was doing with the rest of the crew. That's what he was doing. He thought he was okay doing it a long time ago, and he thought he could excuse it today. And that's what was going on. And I wanted to get Marion to make a comment about this, because here comes, again, the right to vote. This is 2021, and we got the right to vote on the agenda today. And people are talking about, well, you need to have this kind of ID, and you need to have this kind of footprint, and you need to have this kind of shoe size, all this kind of stuff to make it harder for people to vote.
And what they want to try to say, it's not happening. That is not right in some community. Look, as long as I blame the Republicans and the Democrats, as long as they were able to get out there and say what they want and do what they want, they should have taken those folks straight to prison, Maureen, that took over the Capitol and everything. As long as you don't move and do something, those type of attitudes going to grow more and more.
Well, let's say something about that January 6th. We've got Republicans, and I agree, it ain't a whole lot of difference between them.
No,
but it's something about these Republicans that are in and around office today that makes them stand out. There's something different about these folk here. And they're looking at the same thing the rest of us looked at on January the 6th, and they're using words like this was a peaceful protest.
Please.
What's the next word past peaceful?
They don't know how to spell peaceful.
Well, no, what's the next word past peaceful? What are you talking about? They took sticks and broke into the building. They broke the windows out. They didn't come through the door. They came through the window.
And they were the reason why the young police officer was killed.
Sicknick.
They killed him.
All right, well, the autopsy report for Sicknick says he died of multiple strokes.
That's right.
And they guessed this was because he was smelling and taking in the bear spray and all this kind of stuff that they was spraying on him.
They're trying to blame him.
You know. Well, yeah, it was his fault that he died. It was
nothing
nothing nobody else did to kill him, you know.
And Maureen, we're about to be infiltrated here in Detroit with these capitalists coming to town.
Okay, well, we ain't there yet. I'm still talking about this January 6th.
But You know, I'm getting sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Yeah.
You folks better get up and get ready to we taking back what is ours.
They're not going to do it.
They're going to have to.
And they're not going to do
They can
it.
stop calling welfare
And
rights
the
up
reason
there.
they're not going to do it is because, most of the American public is chicken.
Yes,
They're
they are.
scared. Most of them are scared. I remember you had to teach me this a long time ago, scared. And then the other reason is they don't think it can happen. It's American exceptionalism that in
Lord,
this
have mercy
country,
there.
because we have
Haven't
a
heard that in a
certain
long time.
kind of democracy and a certain level of democracy, that we can never lose it. And, I don't want to be out here fighting for their kind of bourgeois democracy, but right in front of our faces, caller, I'm coming straight to you. Right in front of our faces, the right to vote is being challenged. There's a national law that a woman has the right to request a medical procedure during an abortion. You can have that. That's a law. That's a national law. And what's going on? Now the right to go into a hospital to request a medical procedure that you want, your family wants, and anybody else that you connected
And
to,
that's their-
now is being challenged.
That's
So
their
right.
that's their right to make that decision. It is not your right. All you folks that think that you still the bosses and stuff around here. That's not your right. But I'm saying, Maureen,
except during the vaccination.
I'm going
See,
to
now it's not your choice. Now it's
Now,
different.
different,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's different now.
We
caller.
again, too bad we got to see how many of these folks we can do some retroactive abortion on. And
Caller,
send them back to their parents, their mothers' wounds, and reproduce. And then after they come out again, they got to go to school for umpteen years to learn what they didn't know before.
caller, you are on the air. You've been so patient. Thank you for waiting, and thank you for calling Ask Welfare Rights. Caller, you're on the air.
Thank you. Good morning, ladies.
And yes, hey now.
Yes, I just want to say to be in Detroit is way better than being maybe in the other cities. But to laugh, the guy that got thrown in jail, some guy that was a fake policeman from the councilman from Warren. I know you must have seen it on TV or heard about it. but-
Paul is talking about a city council person in Warren, Michigan, that was parading around as if he was a police officer and actually arresting folks. Go ahead, Paul.
I'm just going to let you. I want to get a good laugh when I saw that on TV. It's insane.
It's insane.
Have a
That
good
would be
week.
the right
Yeah.
word. Yeah.
Have a good weekend, and thank you for being on TV. And I wouldn't mind some flyers also.
Thank you very much. As soon as we figure out how to get that to happen, we'll alert you too. I got your number.
Yeah, what a lunatic. The guy was kicked out of he didn't want to wear a mask yesterday, and he's in jail maybe still. But
Yeah. Paul is referencing another case where a guy didn't want to wear a mask. He was also a
the same
council
man.
person. Yeah, and where he had to go was you have to wear a mask. The sign said that, and he walked in and he didn't want to wear a mask and said, "I'm not gonna wear a mask." So they had him arrested. Hey, Paul, I'm for it.
That's
that
all right
works
with
for
me.
me.
Good hearing you this morning, Paul.
All right. Thank you, Paul. All right. Yeah, they arrested the guy. Now, I'm for that. Now, we got these mask mandates. And, Mary, all of this stuff is connected. I don't want to have everybody the right to vote, and then it didn't move to critical race theory. You talking about the way people used to act, and now it didn't move to Dave Chappelle and throw him off the air.
Women
and
cannot make
women,
their own
you
choices.
know, women can't make their own choices. And now Michigan, when I looked at the map, and then we'll go to the World Economic Forum discussion. When I looked at the map that they showed yesterday, there are 19 states. Most of them are in the South. We got Texas and a couple of the Wild Wild West places, Utah, Montana. And these are the places, that have introduced voting changes. All righty, and the vote. The reason why do you want to change the rules for voting? Well, since there's so much confusion and skepticism and suspicion about whether or not the 2020 election was legitimate, we should produce additional measures to determine if the person that's going to vote has that right to vote or not. And Marion, former Chief James Craig, who is running for governor and all kind of other places, which is the best thing for him to do.
You see him in his new suit?
What?
I mean, he got on a new suit on TV, and all he doing is trying to pump up more and more people to vote for him.
Well, yeah,
you
that's
better
what
know
he's
what
doing.
you better know what you are looking at and what you're going to vote for.
Well, just the other day, he came up with, okay, I think we do need to have an audit in Michigan of the November 2020 election results. He's joined his crew.
His crew.
That's his crew.
That's the
all
crew.
right? Yeah, that's his crew. That's his family. So as he, and everybody is, all these Republicans, they hate Governor Whitmer. They hate her.
She's a woman, Maureen.
Well,
and
she got no right to be a boss.
She got some rights to be a boss.
No, they don't think she does.
No, well, they need
she doing too much.
We need to take those folks down to the river and baptize them.
Well, I ain't touching none of them. See,
I didn't say you had to touch it.
The political firefights that are going on in every state, and this one in particular, 19 states out of 50 have new rules that they putting forward, and all of this is based on Donald Trump, him, that talked about the race was stolen, and all these folks that believe it. Now he is launching a new social media project. It's supposed to be in competition with what's the name of this, Google and Facebook. So he's bringing up his own, and you have to pay for it. And another money-making scheme.
Yes.
Another money-making scheme. So this is gonna start in another 2 or 3 weeks. And I forgot the name of it, but I don't want to call it that.
I heard them talking about it.
Yeah, so he's coming out with that kind of a national outreach. But Marion, that's because he's running for president for 2024, and he's getting himself ready. Caller, you've been very patient. Thank you for waiting, and thank you for calling Ask Welfare Rights. Caller, you're on the air.
Good morning.
And good morning.
I just wanted to circle back on the topic about abortion.
Yes.
Now, there's Oklahoma, there's a Native American woman, our first people who's being prosecuted for having a miscarriage. She's facing, under this abortion law, she's been charged and she's facing at least 4 years in prison related to her miscarriage. And these laws are so dangerous because they're saying that anybody who assists, and I'm not even talking about like actively is involved in helping a woman get this medical procedure, but anyone, you could be a Lyft driver, you could be a taxi cab, you could be prosecuted for assisting. Plus, there's this vigilante aspect of this. Because now people are being told, tell on this woman. It's your duty to bust this woman if you know anything about it. And anybody else who was around this woman who knew about this.
Yeah.
Now, this is some crazy, dangerous stuff.
Yeah.
This is, Gracie, this is not only being used from his history, but they are adding more and more to it, and they're getting away with it.
Well, Miss Gracie, the example that you're giving is so outrageous, and a lot of this stuff is coming out of Texas, the rules and regulations again that these despot Republicans are pushing forward, particularly the vigilante part of this. If I know that so-and-so is thinking about getting an abortion and finally gets in on the bus and takes the bus to where she can get the procedure, it might be an opportunity to sue the bus driver. Or if she gets in a Lyft or the Uber or a private church member picks her up and takes her to the hospital, to the clinic where she can get this procedure, that person can be sued. And if the lawsuit is successful, and you left out this part, Ms. Gracie, if the lawsuit is successful in charging that person and in a conviction, the person that filed the argument can get $10,000. Now, all this is an opportunity for those folks that are not working. They're bigots, they're racist, they're misogynistic, hate women. They're the ones that are filing these charges and whatnot on absolute strangers so that they can get $10,000. Comment on that, Ms. Gracie.
I have nothing left to say. You said it all. I mean, this is you're talking about democracy.
That's right.
That is being challenged in a serious way.
Yes.
You know, from that attack on the Capitol.
Yep.
To, you know, this whole
attack on women.
Whole list of things that are challenging democracy, basically.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's what it is.
Absolutely.
About, you know, like the governor, you know, like part of that, as Marion said, is the fact that she's a woman.
Yep.
You don't see them attacking the male governors who have similar positions. You know, and they're attacking every woman that's in Michigan's leadership.
Yep. Yep, Cynthia Johnson.
This is, you know, trying to put us back in the kitchen. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being in the kitchen if that's where you want to be.
That's right.
Baking or whatever, but you cannot turn back history.
No.
You can't turn it back.
They're trying.
You cannot turn back on our civil rights. You cannot turn back on the rights that were fought by women. You cannot turn this back.
And that's right, and we're not going to let you.
This is a moment in history where there's a lot of people coalition and are ready to fight.
That's right.
Ms. Gracie, thank you very much for circling back and bringing that issue up because, you know, again, out of 50 states, 19 of them have submitted resolutions to make it more difficult to vote. This whole thing around you can't have an abortion within 6 weeks. Well, you know, most women don't know that they're pregnant till the second or third month anyway. So, you know, challenging your right to vote, Ms. Gracie, challenging the right of women to access health care that is national and legal. We are under attack, and I'll say this last thing. You know, for years, 2 or 3 years in a row, might have been 1 or 2 years, women got together in January, and from around the country, we boarded buses, trains, cars, and the whole 9 yards, and we went to Washington, D.C. to say, look, there's some things that's going to have to happen in this damn country. And we weren't able to do this, Ms. Gracie, these last 2 Januaries because we tied up in COVID. I don't know that we'll be able to do it in January of 2022, but we should be.
We should be calling for it right now and then make sure that as we step into a new year, we're not going to take this no more.
We're not going to take this mess, you know.
And if we can't get to D.C., we can stay in our neighborhoods and march and everything and have a whole lot of activities going on and make them know that we're not only taking this, we're gonna have a better system out here that all of us could be able to enjoy.
Yeah, Ms. Gracie.
And let me just tell you one more thing.
Okay, go ahead. Quickly.
The child is born. a child is born, and then you have to have national welfare rights to fight for any kind of assistance to help that child.
After the child is born. Yep. It's something.
What else can I say?
Ms. Gracie,
hypocrisy.
it is hypocrisy.
Yes, it is.
Thank you, Ms. Gracie, for circling back and bringing out this very passionate and very scary situation. Thank you, ma'am.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank
all
you.
right. So, yeah, Marion, we got all kinds of attacks in terms of can you vote, who can you vote, or who can vote, what kind of ID. You know, they keep talking about
And
people
news.
having to bring ID to vote. People always had to bring ID to vote. There's never an issue. When I get ready to vote, they ask me for my driver's license. I already have it in my hand, and my name is on the book. That's not the issue. They want to
No,
know
that's not the-
all kinds of other things that will make it more difficult. And they're looking at a political reason for that. I guess that's what's going on, Marion, in these gerrymandering, redistricting
That's
meetings
what it
that are
was
going
from day
on now.
one.
You know, but these redistricting meetings are happening right now. And I'm not involved in that. I don't have any more room on my plate to put anything else. But, you know, redistricting, and I'm thinking about Rashida Tlaib. I saw her, and we were spending a little time together 2 Saturdays ago. And she was telling me about the messages that she gets from men about how they want to get several sticks of dynamite, tie it up, and capture her and put the dynamite between her legs and ignite the dynamite sticks so that they could blow up.
Now that's a sick-ass person, Maureen.
Horrible, you know, oh my God, kind of treatment and kind of conversations. And she's talking about her, she's talking about her and all of the rest of the women on the squad that
Yeah, I know
get
what you're
those
talking
kind of messages. Ayanna Presley, Rashida, what's the one, Omar in Minnesota.
Well, don't leave the one out we got here. You and I got here in Highland Park.
Who you talking about?
That letter that was sent.
Oh, no, but I'm talking about something else. That's something else. That's somebody that was mad at you about something different.
They had your name on there, too.
Yeah, but they was mad at you.
Now, shoes.
You
That's
know,
fine.
You know. But
I must have been doing something good.
Well, that's what that means, you know. But the attack on women and the kind of things we have to confront on a regular basis, and it really does. I think, Marion, you're right. We need to be calling for. We need to get to Washington D.C. in January.
Let's pull our pennies together.
You know.
And make sure we get these buses and cars and everything else.
You want to just hold the microphone?
No.
Oh, okay.
And everything else. Everything else.
But we got to fight now.
It's time to, I tell you.
One more thing we got to mention, Marion. We got about 4 minutes left. You know, these are evidence. This is evidence of, you know, Texas, a couple of Republicans issued a statement to say they were prepared to secede from the nation. They didn't want to be in the United States of America anymore. Texas representative. That's, you know, I think they should have been allowed to go.
They should have
been allowed.
They should have escorted them.
You know,
out.
Take all the Texas and take them where you want them to go.
Well, wait a minute. They're not all the people in Texas.
Well, they wanted to leave the United States of America, and see, to me, that sounds like treason.
It is treason.
You know. And we got an ex-president that keep going different places talking about the vote was stolen, and we got to get it back. And we, you know, the thing that happened on January 6th was a mild activity, and we don't know what people are talking about while we're looking at this on TV. What are you talking about?
And they were the people that were in the forefront of guiding those folks to doing that.
But all of this, and then you think about, you know, is American democracy, is it able to be killed? Yes. And what is the phrase when you walk toward reducing the amount of the right to vote, when you talk about eliminating affordable housing, when you talk about all of these new rules and regulations that mean you can't live in a decent way, the food stamps that people were getting that were eligible, an additional $500 or $600 a month, and so folks, Marion, were getting instead of 1 jar of peanut butter, you got two. or 3, and cereal, you got 3 or 4. You had milk. All of these things you were doing good, but those things are going to end. Those things did end at the last of last month.
Yes.
And people went back to what you said, back to poverty. All of this is going on. And this is what fascism is.
It's all about.
This is what fascism is. You know those old movies, Marion, black and white movies where they had Adolf Hitler in a room with a light bulb and all that. We ain't talking about that no more. We talking about attacks against your standard of living, your quality of life. You can't eat, you can't feed your kids, you can't afford gasoline.
You can't go to the hospital.
You know, you can't go to the hospital. All these say because you can't afford the copay.
No.
And if you went to the hospital after you owe
find
the copay, that means you may not be serviced when you get there.
No, not only that, Maureen, just sitting up there trying to wait for a bed might cause you, you might be sitting there for a whole week.
That's the way the world is. All right, Mary, we're down to our last minute. You have 20 seconds to say goodbye.
I hope that you were listening and that you looked at yourself in the mirror and said, I am joining this fight. So we hope to see you next week. And we hope that you will join in with us and stop letting other folks fight for you, and you get out here and be one of those leaders too.
And I agree. I echo what Marion said. There are things that we all should be doing. Marion has already just called for let's get together. And if we can't go to D.C., we can go to Lansing, and we can demand that the right to vote not be attacked. There's so many things that are going on in the world today, and whatever kind of democracy we got now is limited toward poor people. The door is open. Let's go through that door and fight for the kind of democracy that protects everybody. Everybody. This is the end of our project. If Lord is willing and the creek don't rise, we will be back next Friday. You can always call us at Michigan Welfare Rights at 313-964-0618, 964-0618. I'm taking the rest of the day off. Go home and relax for a little bit, but I'll probably be at Welfare Rights this weekend. Marion, what we say at the end of the day? Goodbye. Bye.